Hey y'all, my name is Willow and welcome to my channel. Today I want to discuss this comment I got. I don't have a script for it, this is just off the top of my head. It says, could you please explain to me, in a way that makes sense, how can a person be born in the wrong body? Can cats and dogs be born in the wrong body? Unless these questions are answered, gender ideology is garbage. Okay, fair enough. But there's a whole lot in this comment, and I want to address it in three parts. The first is, I will explain. How can a person be born in the wrong body? They can't. Or at least, that's not what we actually think. Most of us, anyway. This is a term that trans people used back in the 60s and 70s with their medical professionals and people who were not trans to try to explain what it felt like, what they were experiencing at the time. It wasn't meant to be an over-the-top explanation of who we are and what being trans is. It was just an oversimplified way to get people to understand what being trans feels like and what we go through. Now, the problem is people have now taken that, used it to conflate gender and sex when trying to talk to us as though we're saying that we are somehow changing our biology when we're not. Now, the next part actually kind of shows this. Let's go to, can cats and dogs be born in the wrong body? This kind of shows that you're conflating sex and gender. You see, gender is a social construct. It requires certain social structures in order to even make sense. Without them, there is no real gender identity. We'd have something, but it wouldn't map onto anything because there's nothing there. And as far as I know, there's very few other species that have a more simplified gender, but I don't even know if they call it that. However, we do. But cats and dogs have sex. So no, not only do we not think that we are born in the wrong bodies, we know we're born in the bodies we have. We change it to fit who we are. Just like anyone else who wants to change how they look to feel better about themselves. Only more severe because of the stress caused by the disconnection between our gender identity and our sex. Now, the last part here, it kind of explains a lot. Unless these questions are answered, gender ideology is garbage. There's two parts to this. First is, when you talk about gender as an ideology, being trans as an ideology, LGBTQ issues as ideology, it's because someone told you to. Because using the term ideology makes it sound like it's something you can disagree with. It's not something people believe. It is who they are. And the word ideology makes it sound like a religion, like a belief structure, like being flat earther or something like that. And it's not. It is who we are. So the reason it's called ideology from certain people is to make it political, make it seem like it's something that is questioned. And it's just not. We are who we are. I am who I am. You are who you are. There is no ideology behind it. There's no belief. We just are. Now the last part of this is saying if they don't receive the answers, that this is all garbage. But that's not how any of this works. We don't know a lot of things. At one point, we did not know how to prove that the Earth wasn't the center of the universe. But that doesn't mean the heliocentric model is garbage or was garbage. We don't know how to prove a lot of things right now. That doesn't mean it's garbage. It just means we don't know. If you don't understand, I appreciate you asking questions, which is why I'm not trying to cast any shade on this person. I appreciate the questions, and I really want you all to ask me more questions. But I needed to make sure this was way clearer than just a simple comment that I could write back. Hopefully, this helps. If you have more questions, please comment below. Until then, I will see you in another video.